This is going to be a unveiling of my new time lapse for my new artwork, while I also discuss the time that has elapsed since the election, because it's a little nuts. But it does relate to this artwork, and so this is the unofficial showing of this. I'm going to show it in much better detail and go really deep into what it is, I guess. But in general, TartarieARTh, this is what I imagine our realm being like, or maybe a map of an expanded version of our realm. To the left, where the sun, you can see that little orange, there's a bunch of different axes, 6 different axes kind of coming off of Mount Meru, with it up at the top, a god or something holding the string. And this is all obviously theoretical. It's not exactly what I believe, but it's kind of symbolically an interesting representation of what I feel is more accurately the size of this place that we're on. And I do think it's a giant sphere or some form of thing, and it's very flat where we are, and our part is probably all as it goes forever. And maybe it curves around, maybe it curves up, maybe it's concave, maybe it's convex, maybe it's something. But I think there's different planets orbiting at different pathways, and Mount Meru, I believe, is one of the centers. And so over to the left, you can kind of see the White House, where you'll see a sun and a moon about to, there we go, the sun and the moon to the left. And so that's kind of the realm, and it shows, I'll have a little thing that will tell the mileage for the key, but, you know, just to get a glimpse of the potential. All these different buildings could be out there somewhere, different things like it. I wonder if I channeled something, you never know. There could be some truth to any of this, but overall the grand scale is what I consider to be interesting and potentially very accurate, because I think we are on something massive. I think people have come and gone from these places, experienced ours. They're probably watching it right now, laughing at us. I hope they come back though and take us somewhere cool. I'd love to see what is beyond our realm. I know there is much more. Do we trust any of the people that give you your information to tell you how the universe is shaped and your world is, how big it is? Do you really trust them to tell you the size and magnitude of and miracle structure of this beautiful planet that they lie to us about everything about? And this has been no exception in the last couple days. 2020 is very much like 1776, or what they tell us about that time. But the stakes are definitely as drastic. However, the violence, from what they told us, is definitely not the same, I guess. Who knows? I don't know what to believe about the past. They don't even tell the truth about what happened 2 days ago. How are we supposed to believe what they say happened hundreds of years ago? I am starting to believe that Tartaria had something to do with our declaration and our God-given rights and our brilliance and our magnificence. And there's shreds of it left, and it's in danger of being taken over by a force that's just absolutely terrible. And the people that are celebrating today as a dementia-induced candidate, president, vice president, criminal, creep, claimed the presidency with no right to do so, and absolutely no law behind him. It's unbelievable how people that are educated can be duped into believing that what the media tells them is an accurate process. is like the chosen word. In Giuliani's meeting today, when he was like, "Oh my God, the media! Oh, they said, oh, I'll be able to." That was one of the best moments I've seen. It was so real. Giuliani's been nailing it lately, and I hope he continues to. But but that's just the mentality. It's like, what are you people talking about? You cannot dictate reality. Where did you ever learn that the media controls reality? And where did you ever learn that this guy over in China is going to control this country? There's absolutely not a chance of that happening. I believe the fight is on. The politicians are showing themselves, the rhinos, the Democrats, and the Republicans that are being strong are showing themselves, and I hope they continue to. I hope this isn't all a stage and the giant WWF performance. I don't think it is. It's too much at stake no matter what, and regardless, made in America is the mentality that Trump is pushing, Biden is pushing, made in China. There's no doubt about that. So it is worth paddling over to not end this country, to continue the future, and to really be thankful and show respect to the people that have come before us and built these things. And Trump always says the people that built the skyscrapers and all these things. You look at these buildings in these places, even as you see the videos today, every one of the kind of meetings and the protests or the peaceful protests or whatever, they're occurring in these cities with these amazing buildings all over the place, these old buildings that just have, it's just in our face, everything's in our face, and really are, it's a complete complete alteration of reality on one side, and whereas the law and like respect and all this, it's just the hypocrisy is absolutely unfathomable. And the fact that it comes from people that consider themselves to be extremely educated, they consider themselves, since they listen to NPR, they know everything. Whatever you say is wrong. It's astonishing. And there was one story I heard today about a Trump friend whose cousin had was a Biden supporter, a liberal, big time, a nice person, big time liberal. And they said today, like, oh, I'm really excited about Biden, but like I'm kind of worried about the economy and like the future, like my money in the future. And I heard that story. I heard that this person said that, and I was just like, are you kidding? Like, you couldn't have figured that out in the last 4 years. It's like all these people's judgments of Trump are based on hate, and they're based on the media, the liberal media, the worst enemy to America. All of us are created equal. That's what the good people push, and the other side is not pushing that, and they are showing it. And I'm glad Fox actually became terrible, because it's about time. It's about time they let it out of the bag. Like, Tucker's okay sometimes, Hannity's got a monstrous ego and he's sometimes okay, and Ingram's sometimes okay, and Bartiromo's sometimes, and Dobbs, but they're not. It's not solid. The core is rotten, and the change over to Newsmax, OAN, Right Side Broadcasting, all that stuff has to happen. We need to start supporting those companies and make them rise while these others just fall. And nobody should be logging into Facebook or Twitter ever again. YouTube we have to, because it's just there, but nobody should be logging into Facebook or Twitter. Get rid of that stuff, unless you can check out Trump's tweets without that. But this is it. This is what we have to do. There's people are doing things on the other side, and they're falling for something that's happened in the past, like Gore and Bush. Same thing. It's like people forget. People's memories are just gone. People's knowledge of history is gone. Everything is erased by the hate that they feel and the desire that they feel to like elect basically someone who's it just came out 2 weeks ago when the media hid that big time, that he's a disgusting creep beyond even anyone's fathomability. And I hope they release the Hunter Biden laptop from hell, because it needs to come out. Somebody should dump all this stuff out into the public, and then just let us see it. Let everyone see it. Someone on the side of good just start going on the offense in a beautiful way with truth. This is an information war. We don't have the muskets. We don't need them. That's one thing that I guess is a blessing. Hopefully we don't need them. I mean, their side, you see them walking down the streets with like drums, all dressed in black. They're like scrawny little kids. And you see the other side with like shotgun shells on them and armed, wouldn't even consider using it in a hostile or any bad way, just totally there for protection. And it's just like, what are these people thinking? You're going up against the military, the police, everyone has the support, everyone supports Trump. What is this media even doing? They should be arrested for duping people this hard, And if it finds out that Biden is officially won, then I'll believe that. But there's no way. It's disgusting the fact that they are claiming that he is getting the most votes in history, when majority of his are fraudulent. But Trump is actually getting the most votes in history. That's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of voter ID that's going to be coming, and all elections from here on will have to be fair. If all elections are fair from now on, the Democrats will never win again. The entire country will turn Republican and be united under him, and our success will be unstoppable. We will be our own country. It will spread across the world. Globalism will be destroyed. This is the way that will happen. Justice will prevail. Stay true. Stay safe. Bless you all.